really think our game delivered what you expect out of an 8-9 game, out of a game where two teams have played each other twice already this year and 8 times over the last 4 years. It was rugged. It was hard to score on both ends because we do know each other so well. The atmosphere that the SEC creates for the tournament is so enjoyable for our kids. I think we were a little nervous because of that. And we missed a few shots that I think tomorrow will fall for us. But just the way this team has played all year long, you knew there was a run coming. And it was just a slight difference over a team that I've got a lot of respect for in Missouri. And I think it was a great battle between two teams that should be in the NCAA tournament.
Questions for the student athletes? For those joining us on Zoom, please submit your questions in the Q&A, please.
Amber, what was the difference between the first half and the second half with how they were defending you, or was it something that just clicked offensively for you?
I think it was I missed a couple easy shots in the first half, and in the second half I just let the game come to me. I didn't force a lot of shots, and my teammates kept giving me confidence to shoot the same shots that I got in the first half.
Sasha, what did Coach say to you after you had that block in overtime?
You can tell him.
He was talking about how there's no way I shouldn't have been on the SEC all-defensive team. And he just told me, keep doing what I'm doing. And he's proud of me.
Barry.
I've got a question for you, Amber, on Zoom. What did you see from Michaela and her toughness, especially on the boards?
I think Mac had a career night on board. She had 14 rebounds, and that's great. I'm glad Mac is back on the court with us. It just gives us another scorer, another defender, another playmaker, and having her back is a great thing for us.
Sasha, what were you able to do to limit Frank offensively?
I just tried to be in her way. The coaches have talked a lot about, in preparation for this game, being knee-to-knee with her. I think I've made the mistake in the past thinking I was there and close enough, but I wasn't, so I made sure today to not make that same mistake.
Amber, what were you guys able to do as a team to stay patient even in overtime?
I think Michaela and Sam did a great job of controlling the pace, when to push it, when to slow it down. Sasha made a big shot in overtime, and I think we did a great job defensively. Sasha did a great job defensively the whole game in limiting Haley Frank.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Thank you, Amber and Sasha. You're free to leave.
Thank you.
We'll open questions for Coach.
All right, I'll see y'all.
Hey, Coach.
Hi.
How do you think that Missouri did defensively as far as, like, holding Amber Ramirez scoreless in the first half and stuff like that?
Yeah, Robin and her staff are as good as it comes when it comes to preparing a team. And I think they all, the 2 times we played them, Amber's been able to get free a lot. And it was obviously a focus. They switched a lot of actions. They face guarded her. They kept fresh legs on her. And that comes down to preparation and their kids going out and executing it. I thought their kids were very disciplined. When we would drive it at that side, that defense player never left Amber. In their ball screen action, they did a really good job of getting into Amber's space. She's so good at, we call it a hostage dribble, getting you on the back of somebody and making them a hostage. She couldn't get to that point in the first half. We changed a little bit of our screening angle at the second half, and I think that was the difference. But Missouri was so well prepared coming into the game. I think they've been, having played us so many times, you learn. And we knew it was going to take option C, D, or E. It wasn't going to be A, B, or C tonight.
Hey, Coach, in a game where it just seemed like shots wouldn't fall, layups would not fall, your defense stepped up. We were talking about blocks. You guys had 10 blocks today. How nice is it to know that if your offense isn't clicking, that defense was locked down? If this game didn't go into overtime, Missouri was sub 50.
I think this is the first press conference I've ever talked about our defense winning a game, but I think it happened because the shots weren't falling. We knew we had to do it on that end. If we hadn't been guarded on the other end, we'd have been down 15 or 20 instead of 5 or 6. So, I think a lot of it has to do with how we react on the sidelines. We have a group of kids that's such a pleasing group. If we miss a layup and you see all of us over there go, instead they feed off of that. And I think we made it a point tonight that wasn't going to be it. We were just next shot, next play, let's go get a stop on the other end. I wouldn't have told you that. If you would have told me we were going to hold them to 29.9%, I would not have predicted an overtime. You know, I would have thought that would be enough to win the game, but it wasn't tonight. I'm glad that we had it. Sasha, as I mentioned, I think has proven herself. And our team, I get it. There's not one player on that defensive team that should not have been on it. I'm not one of those coaches. There's not one player you could take off of it. They're all good. We just needed more this year on the team because we had 5 classes of kids. I wish that class would, we could have done something. I know we can't, but I just wanted Sasha to know that it's better to not get an award that you deserve than the vice versa. We all know that she's one of the best defensive players in the conference, and I just wanted to make sure she knew that.
You guys have now been able to beat Missouri 3 times this season and won the last 7 matchups against them. What is it about the way you guys match up with Missouri that's allowed you to have so much success?
I really can't tell you that. It amazes me because we've all been good games. They've everyone been competitive. There's not been a time when I ever felt comfortable. So I think it's just a bad matchup for them and a good matchup for us. That happens from time to time. 3 times in 1 year, that dispels a really old coaching cliche about it's hard to beat a team 3 times in the year, which it is, but it's not impossible if you've got a good plan and your kids execute a variety of different ways. Missouri's matchup with, Haley Frank is such a good player, and with the addition of LaDazia Williams, and then you put shooters like Hanson and Troop around, and a fast player like Dembele, it is a real struggle to try to guard those guys. But I didn't know it was 7 in a row, but I am shocked because the games have been so good.
Coach, with this one now behind you, how do you prepare for South Carolina tomorrow?
Yeah, you celebrate this one for as long as you possibly can. It's not the move on when we get to the hotel. Enjoy this until well past midnight. I'll talk to you at breakfast. It's been a while since we've played them. We played them pretty early in the season, and all we've had a chance to do is just know what we've all know, what everybody in this league knows, is that they're the best team in the country. You've got to hope that you catch them maybe, a little bit off. We want to take advantage. I think it's our advantage in the first half tomorrow, having played today. Sometimes being that team that's been set, and sometimes, I'm not saying all time, sometimes it's your advantage in the first half. So we got to be ready to take advantage of that. But our athletic training staff will be the most important people in the hotel tonight. We went all in. We didn't play a very deep bench tonight. I felt like this game was so important when it comes to the postseason with NCAA implications that we find a way to win the 8-9 game in this league this year, which I think the SEC is deserving of a record number of teams in the tournament. So I thought we needed to play how many ever we needed to play tonight to win. And we'll play a lot more kids tomorrow, a lot earlier, I can promise you.
We've got some questions on Zoom.
Okay. What
does it say about Michaela that she had her first career double-double?
Is it her first? And she drew 9 fouls, so that's almost a triple-double. Here's what I think you look down at. That plus 12. When she was in the game, we were plus 12. And then you look to the other side of the stat sheet and you see 3 for 17. I would have thought that was mathematically impossible to go 3 for 17 but still have a lineup that was plus 12. That shows you how valuable her defensive and rebounding is. So I'm proud Matt got her a double-double. I didn't know it was her first. It won't be her last, that's for sure.
What was your halftime conversation like, and was there something you specifically said to Amber to help her get in her groove?
No, it was a little adjustment Coach Todd made in the offense, just getting her in a couple of different spots and trying to get the matchups. They were switching everything in the first half to where it ended up being Dembele Gardner. So we ran a couple actions that didn't involve ball screens. And then we did point out to our guards as we were driving it, Amber was open behind the drive several times, and that was really what got her going. She made one of those, so we just pointed that out. It was really calm in there. We didn't talk for very long. We let, as the year goes along, we spend a lot more time as coaches outside so that the kids can talk to themselves because they usually find a way to fix it, and they had it fixed by the time we got in there.
You joked on the broadcast about a defensive battle not being a common win for your team. What was different about this game?
I think that we've been through it. In the past, these games, we kind of get frustrated and we get down and we wouldn't have a way to end up on the winning side of that because our frustrations would get the better of us. But there's their positive talk to each other, like keep hanging in there defensively, keep getting stops. The shots are going to fall. Keep driving it in there and encouraging each other. Mac, y'all can see Mac visibly when she would miss a layup there late in the game. her shoulders and people told her to stop doing that. And I just think that's the difference. Our team is, even though we're still really, really young and years old, experiences and adversities and situations, we're getting more under our belt.
Football might be over this season, but basketball is in full steam for both pros and college hoops. For all the latest odds, totals, player performance props, to where the next fired coach is going to land, BetOnline is the #1 spot for all your sports betting needs. Head over to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Use our promo code BELIEVE to get started. That's promo code BLEAV. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds, right to the Olympic coverage is the best in the business. From sports right down to your favorite Vegas casino games, BetOnline is your #1 online wagering destination. BetOnline, the fastest and easiest way to wager on all your favorite sports and play your favorite games. BetOnline, where the game starts.